So this is our 4-year-old Hanoverian colt in the round pen again. I'm going to start with the Surcingle today. And I'm just going to move him around some more, get him into the round pen attitude again, making sure that he turns and faces up, and he does very well.
Good job. Nice job.
This is the Surcingle I'll be using. It is an older rebuilt Surcingle, and I have a rope tied to it. I'll show you why I do that. And here's my specimen. The first thing I want to do, and I've done this before, is I put the rope around his waist, his middle, where the cinch will go, and I just kind of snug it up a little bit so he can feel it. And without the camera in my hand, I would actually even start like moving him towards me and around. He gets kind of curious about it. So that's what I would do and have done in other round pen sessions. Then I send him back out again and make sure he's facing up nicely. So when I put the Surcingle on, you can have a rope on if you think your horse is going to go anywhere. He's pretty solid in his round penning and knows that he doesn't need to move. I set it right behind the withers, and even if yours is just a round one, you can set it behind the withers. I do tie a rope around the middle or the front of him so that it does not go back, and I tie it pretty snugly forward. The cinch is loose, it is not tight, and I'm going to move him off here, and this is a pretty typical thing for them to do. I am going to encourage him to move forward the whole time he's doing this, and keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm kissing. Move forward.
Good boy.
Move forward. Yeah. And reward. Again, I try, and he doesn't want to go, and so I'm going to reward that. I want him to know that stop, whoa is the answer. So then I kind of let him relax and walk around. He's looking behind him. It's really important to watch their reactions.
Nice job.
Again, he stopped on his own, so I'm going to let him stop. Be careful when you go up to them when they first have this on. They can blow up and start bucking or jump on you at any moment. So it's really important to be on your toes and aware of what's going on. Again, he's still looking behind him. He's very tense. His ears are back. His eyes are looking at what's around his middle. Faces up. And decides on his own to stop. I'm going to ask him to go forward again.
Nice job.
It's really important in this first session with the Surcingle that you keep moving them around and they get through these little bucky sessions and learn that it's not going to come off. And that they're not going to be able to run away from it. This horse is a pretty typical horse in the way he's reacting. When you've done your groundwork on the round pen reasoning and they face up and they know that that's the out, then this is pretty much what it does. But I have had horses just go berserk, and I think they're going to go over the fence and whatnot. So it can get pretty hairy. So, you know, be very careful. If you are going to attempt this, you should have a trainer there. Most of the time, they're not going to buck until you move them off into the canter. And when you move them off into the canter, that's when they buck, because they have to lift their back, and it makes the Surcingle get tighter. So they have to learn that that this feeling is not going to be eating them. Good boy. So he's still looking behind him. He's still I wouldn't say he's scared of it, he's just trying to figure out what it is. And trying to get rid of it. You know, if it was a tiger on his back, he would be doing the same thing, and that would be a wise thing to do. So I'm just going to keep moving him around. He's really not paying attention to me as much as he is the Surcingle right now. Says okay.
Boy.
I remember the answer. The answer was stop. Again, approaching beyond your toes. They can get explosive. This is how loose that cinch is. I'm going to jiggle things a little bit just to see that he is comfortable with the sounds.
Good boy.
Facing up and licking, starting to relax a little more now. As I say, this session needs to be a good half an hour or 45 minutes or more until they really start to relax and get the idea that bucking it off is not going to work. I give him a little moment to get curious about it. I back away, let him rest, figure it out on his own. Be a horse for a second. Again, that rope is on the front, so that does not slide back because the Surcingle is not tight. You should not have it tight on a young horse. Tightening comes later, and we'll go through that. But right now it's loose, so therefore it needs to have something to keep it from moving back. I sped this up, but I wanted to put this in here so that you know that I kept working him and round pinning him, because he did have a little buck that kept going on every now and then when I would ask him to canter. Starting to relax a little bit. I'm turned the wrong way, so I'm turning back. And face up. Ooh-wee. Always check everything, make sure that it's okay. End piece was getting a little long. You always want to make sure everything is able to get undone quickly. It's amazing what they can get into. And you want to have a pull tie, something that unties very, very quickly. Here I'm undoing this. I recommend that you actually have another halter line on, so that if they start to turn away from you when this is all loose, you can turn them back toward you, because I have had them start to buck again as you take it off. You can see this horse is tired. He's panting a little, which is good. That's what you want. So he's had all this done. He's had stuff thrown over him, around him, on him. So throwing this around, going over him is not a new thing. Do the groundwork before even putting the Surcingle on. After we're done, I always take them out and have them relax, so that every time they're with me it's not working. I do a hand walk, let them eat and munch and be a little horse while they're with me. Overall, a really good session, very typical of a young horse and the new Surcingle. If you are going to try this, make sure that you know what you're doing, have a trainer there, and are very, very careful.